Revelation chapter 14, verse 4. Speaking of the 144,000, these are the ones who have not been defiled with women, for they have kept themselves chaste or pure. These are the ones who follow the Lamb wherever he goes. These have been purchased from among men as first fruits to God and to the Lamb. What does that term first fruits mean? Well, the first fruits, the word fruit or fruits should be an indicator.
Harvest.
Harvest. Food. Jesus talked about fruits in his ministry. One particular account is the vine. After the supper in the upper room, as Jesus and the disciples were going to, were leaving there was a vine. And Jesus used, this is recorded in John chapter 15. And Jesus talks about the vine and the branches and the gardener, and that any branch that does not produce fruit will be cut off. And this type of imagery is very easy to see how it fits within the context of what God has made known throughout his giving information to his prophets, his messengers, and to his people. The Father is the gardener. What is the job or duty of the gardener?
To take care of the garden. Husband the garden.
To groom the vine. Cultivate the vine.
Water the veggies.
Well, in this case, there's a point that Jesus makes, which I find interesting and using a very easy description. He prunes. Why would you prune? Well, first of all, Jesus says, I am the vine and you are the branches. The vine is not pruned, but the branches are.
If you prune the vine, it kills it.
And it has no,
Right.
it has no branches.
Right.
If you cut all the branches off, the vine will not produce fruit. It needs branches. Why would you prune some branches?
If they're not producing.
If they're not producing.
You redirect the resources to a productive. Redirect resources to a productive, part
branch.
of the vine.
Absolutely. Why? Because the fruit will be better.
Where do you find first fruits?
Verse 14.
Where do you find that?
I said Revelation 14.
Well, I'm just asking again.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not going to go through the tape and listen again.
In your ear, you need
I wasn't listening. I was looking for a special verse. Now let's be nice in here, okay?
Let's start now. 14:4.
Thank you.
The vine is, Jesus says, I am the vine. How long has Jesus been the vine? When Jesus says, I am the vine, has he always been the vine?
He became the vine when he was born a human being.
So then he wasn't the vine prior to his being born of a woman. Well, that's true.
The Father was.
He was divine.
That's true. He was not. He was divine, yes. Larry. A little attempt at humor there.
Very little.
He was not divine until he was born the Son of God. Who was the vine prior to that?
God the Father.
Who was the vine prior to that? Let's look in Isaiah chapter 3? No, chapter 5. Isaiah chapter 5. Starting with verse 1. Let me sing now for my well-beloved a song of my beloved concerning his vineyard. My well-beloved had a vineyard on a fertile hill, and he dug it all around, removed its stones, and planted it with the choicest vine, singular. And he built a tower in the middle of it, and he hewed out a wine vat in it, and then he expected it to produce good grapes. But it produced only worthless ones. And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem and men of Judah, judge between me and my vineyard. What more was there to do for my vineyard that I've not done in it? Why, when I expected it to produce good grapes, did it produce worthless ones? So now let me tell you what I am going to do to my vineyard. I will remove its hedge, and it will be consumed. I will break down its wall, and it will become trampled ground. I will lay it waste. It will not be pruned or hoed, but briars and thorns will come up. And I will also charge the clouds to rain no rain on it. For the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel, and the men of Judah his delightful plant. Thus he looked for justice, and behold bloodshed, for righteousness, but behold a cry of distress.